All right. Are we live? We're live. See, the trick is just no starting soon screen, and then we don't have to worry about dropped frames. That's what it is. That's got to be what it is. Okay, let me just adjust a few things here. Need some more books. Move some stuff around. So if I can get my camera just a little bit higher. A little taller. How about there? Is that better? Now I won't be blocking it so much when I talk with my hands. All right. So good evening, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Mecha Modeling Monday with the wonderful MADOX foot in the background. I'm stubborn. It's the only way to say it. I'm stubborn. I'm gonna finish this darn thing. If it's the last thing I do. Because who knows? It could be. Okay, though, tonight. Yeah, we're gonna finish that darn thing. Okay, I seem taller than normal. I'll show you. What do I look like with the other camera? Shorter. More in your facer. Taller? Maybe it was my imagination. Get right started. Wait for the folks to filter in. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see. So where we left off last time was my sailboat. The sailboat that is the back heel. Hello, Waffletron. The sailboat that is the back heel. Let's see, I got the front. Let's see what else we have. I think my head's just a little bit high now. Nope, yep, it was just a little bit high. Got some nice new tracking. We have much smoother now. Because the iPhone's working. Yeah. Well, the hands are gonna be the same as always, because that's from a leap. Except now, because I have the iPhone mounted below my monitor, there's definitely chances of me being able to block it again. Which don't cause my model to go berserk, so that's kind of cool. And I can hear the toddler being excessively noisy upstairs. But yeah. Yes. Noisy kids, yep. They're fine though. Okay. So, let's get some stuff out of the way here off the desk. Writing utensil here. Taking notes. Okay. I'm getting right into it. I'm going to get that annoyingly complex ankle piece done, and then export it to Maya and finish it up. Because I'm going to rig this. Come hell or high water. To sound like an old person's. I have it slightly off screen here. wonder if Fusion allows for source images. Because that would have been a nice... They do allow for source images. What's this say? Let's see, stream slideshow. Nope, not that one. There's literally what we're looking at. Never mind. I guess they won't. That's okay. I guess it's a, what is this? Must be like a WebP or something silly like that. It is indeed a WebP. I hate WebPs. Yeah, that would make it so much easier though. Open with Paint. Paint will open it, go figure. Save as. Just do a good old JPEG. Save. Close. Go to chatting. Oh, and the void. That's annoying. Okay, let's try that again. There you are. Perfect. Make in beginner. There we go. I mean, we probably should have looked into this right off the bat. It might have, well, not really. It probably wouldn't have made things too much easier because the scaling is, or the perspective is off. But I'd say we did pretty decent for lining it up that way, huh? We're just gonna say it's roughly that big. Because it's gonna be a little off from just the rotation, but I'd say that'll work. That'll at least let me get this, and that's all that matters at the moment. That's all that matters. Okay, how do we do our? Oh. There we go. Yeah. All right. Now we should be able to tear right through this thing. Okay, where are we? Where are we? Create solid, solid. Great. Sketch. Oh. You know, Fusion. I don't need to start at 0, 0, 0 every time. And we are definitely going to eyeball this time and not be quite as fussy as we were. last stream we were messing around in Fusion. I was trying to design this as if I was working on Rusty. I was just getting a little bit too into the weeds, as they say. It's like, oh, everything has to be, you know, proper multiples of, you know, at like 4 or 5, you know, so that it looks nice when it's it looks nice when it's low poly. This is a fun little exercise, and I have to tell myself that it's just a fun little exercise. Let's see, where, let's put those bolt holes. Actually, those aren't bolts, but we'll put those bolt holes right about here. I definitely think they went with rule of cool for how this foot looks. Seeing as we did discover last time that they never animated this this foot. This is a still frame, and the only piece that moves is way up top there. The shock absorber of the shin, basically. The shin is the only part that moves as it compresses and lets out some steam. You can see the steam right there. Right here. Sometimes, even though I talk so much with my hands, sometimes I forget that I have hands I can talk with. I'm gonna make a laser pointer set. That I can be like, okay, I'm pointing here. I don't know if I'm gonna do that with in my Unity program, or if I'm just going to make something that's hooked up to the cursor and controls my arm and does a little laser pointer. But I think I might do that in my Unity. Okay. Now to get these guys. Oof. I think I'm going to put in the actual circles first, and then do the bits around them. It is tricky to get this at an angle, especially since as I was doing some thinking and some modeling in Maya, trying to figure out, well, not trying to figure out how this would work so much as working on a different foot, setting up IK and stuff just for fun. This is very curious how they have this, because what you don't quite see at this angle is that, oh, almost reaches. Oh, I can lean further now. Wait, can I lean forward? Almost. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Hello. How you doing? How's it going over here? Nice. New tracking is fun. Except that I keep blocking my camera with my hands. I have to get it moved up to the above the monitor where the webcam was. Okay, but yeah, no, leaning's fun. Still can't move my shoulders though. But I noticed that you really can't. I don't know if you even can in well, I would assume you could in the tracking program, the AI tracking program that does full body. I forget which one that is. It's not MediaPipe, is it? I wonder if that one can do shoulders. Because this has static shoulders, basically. You get the little rotation for IK purposes, but that's about it. IK is, by the way, IK is inverse kinematics. So in animation, there's two kinds of joint movement, joint rotations. There's forward kinematics, which means let's say we got our forearm here, right? Means if I would want to put my arm straight out like this, like that. So I would need to basically bend the elbow out, control that joint rotation. And, you know, maybe the shoulder if I wanted to make it go straight out. Now, how IK works is basically you move, you know, you grab a little controller here, usually in the wrist for the hand, and you just move that to its destination. You stretch it out, and the computer does the rest of the math of how far the joints should rotate and all that. Because I'm not a squashy cartoon model, so my arm just doesn't, you know, shoot way out, you know, One Piece style. These limbs are all the same length as they would be on a person or a robot that does not have extendy limbs. I don't remember where I was going before that. Oh, yes. The setting up the rotations and kinematics for this behind me. Yeah, so right here, no, mouse pointer. So right here, I believe this is actually at an angle. So, you know, if you see a human foot, you know, your foot lines up with your foot, your ankle, and your knee. They kind of line up and go straight forward. Yeah, you can do fun things like twist your knee and all that kind of fun stuff, just like you can with an elbow. But so I think these two toes, as I've been calling them, are like these fingers, you know, and they're get out of here, other arm. These fingers are at an angle. Okay, my tracking is being a little odd with my left arm. This one. Anyways, can I make this little grab here? Maybe not. Point being, I knew these were at these two toes were at a slight angle. Like let's say if my hand tracking was good enough. They're a little bit splayed. It's like a little V. We don't really see how they connect here at an angle, except I think this pin right here, if you look just like this, I think that's where it's at the angle. And then it's hard to tell here, but this is kind of like an A or a V, you know, an upside down V. Right here for the shock absorbers or hydraulic controls for the toes. So I think that's how that is set up. Yeah. But we're not going to get too fussy here. He says as he debates using a bolt pattern or a hole pattern instead of just dropping a bunch of circles on there. Yeah, if I were making this for real in CAD, I would definitely take a lot more time to get it set up just right. What we are not going to do is we are not going to do the, sadly, we are not going to do the full-on parts explosion for this because I think it's just going to be, it is going to be a little too hard to do with how much limited information I see here. For instance, this right here. You know, what's its purpose? Even in the shadows there, I don't see it linking up to anything. And it really shouldn't. You know, if you think about it, you know, good and hard, it really shouldn't be linking to anything. Because you have the connection joint, you know, right here, the main pivot. And this is the ankle, and this is kind of like, you know, an extension of the ankle. So the toe pivots here. And then this controls how, this is actually like, basically it's the IK. This controls how, what angle the toe is going to be. And this is passive. passive hinge, essentially. So there we are. There we are. After I get a little bit further in this, maybe when I'm ready to drag it into Maya, I'll show my much easier future foot project. That's my post with the my post with this little CAD bit on I think it was Blue Sky. CRTV had replied with, "Man, I wasn't a foot guy before, but this got me thinking." So, all right, let's zoom in, make some circles. Oh no, get back here. I want circles. Duplicate sketch curves in an arc or circular. You know, let's. I forget how this one works. So this would be really good. I've used this before, making hole patterns. This would be really good for doing like these 4 circles, or if there was a whole ring of them going around. Basically, it's a like a rotate tool, rotating off the pivot here, and it goes plop, 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 plop. And you can control the spacing and all that. Very handy, very handy. Except for right here, because we have limited information. This looks like the most circular circle. So I think we're just going to make it 5. And then we can make every one of these 5. And the beauty of this CAD is I can put them right on this circle. It's pretty much a reference. Let me do that here too, even though it doesn't look quite right. And we're going to put this guy on there too, except he's going to be bigger. Maybe 10. There. Now they are all the same distance from the center, which is right here. I could do the same thing with this bolt pattern here. I really should have looked into importing the sketch last, or the background drawing. It was slightly silly on my part. Though I did get things lined up pretty good. I mean, look at those circles. I would say I freehanded these holes here and these 2 holes here. I'd say I freehanded those pretty well. Put it in this circle right away. So I got those. And the most overly complicated flange that they could think of. Yep. Although one thing I did notice here, as I was working on the other project, is I discovered the purpose of this little bar right here. This seems to be a stabilizer bar for the ankle. You know, this piece right here. To keep this from over rotating in either direction. That appears to be what that is. It's an offset. It's an offset linkage here that I don't think would move. It is mostly just there as a stabilizing force. I could be wrong, of course. But, yeah, it does make me wonder why they didn't make it a solid piece. But it looks kind of cool. And I think that's where they went with a lot of this. It looks kind of cool. All right, now for the fun part. Let's see if we can get away with a spline. You'll get to see me make all sorts of fun mouth shapes once I get my new face done. Well, new mouth, anyways. Now we got the fun tracking. It definitely works. It definitely works. There we go. Arc. Center point arc. Okay, let's do the center. Let's go. Let's try here. Oh, neat. Huh. That worked way better than I thought it. Whoa. Creating a recovery file has failed because the center point arc command is editing your file. Okay. Rude. Did it just crash on me? Is that what it's saying? Let's just save. I have no idea what that was about. I am gonna try and do this. Well, let's see if I can do this a little less sloppy than I used to. So make it easier to extrude, theoretically. Okay, you good? Okay, let's go back in there. See, normally I don't bother with creating all these arcs and such. Normally I would just make yet another ring and then only extrude the pieces that I actually want to extrude. Which is definitely the easier way to do it. 3-point arc, start point, middle point, end point, center arc. So let's try this one just for fun. No, that's way too big. Yeah, it's a little better. The downside is I don't know how far this is, so that it'll look uniform with the others. Though I'm not sure that matters. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I kind of like this tool now. Let's try to match this over here. Yep. Well, here's where we see the downside of how I modeled this. There is this offset here where it's not quite lined up right. So this circle is the interior, or the inner edge. And this protrudes. I see, I see. It's a little big. Let's see if it, oh, I didn't put a measurement on this, so it won't automatically automagically adjust. But here I go thinking again too hard about this. Because I can just throw a whole bunch of bevels on here later, or fillets. Oops, whoa, that turned out weird. Fit point spline. Ooh, I haven't played with the spline tool yet. See, this is part of the purpose of the Mecha Modeling Mondays, so we can figure stuff out that we maybe haven't played with before or in a while. To figure it out and give it a shot. Now here we have the tricky part, because this circle is definitely off. But again, guesstimation. Well, that definitely doesn't match. Ooh, well, this one's nice. I am definitely going to be using the arc tool more in the future. That did exactly what I wanted it to do. I am now a believer. And of course, this all happening when I get an email from Autodesk because they're having a 50% off your Fusion subscription. So, you know, hashtag not sponsored, because I ain't. But, you know, half off is half off. So, you know, if you didn't get that email, we can apparently hook you up. We can't, but someone can. Oops, one too many dots. Let's try that tangent arc again. And just link that right to here. And are we done already? No, we have to do a little bit more on the top here. This I'm just gonna smooth out in later. Maybe I might actually smooth it out now with that other tool. But pardon my noisiness here. I am still, unfortunately, on the very tail end, hopefully, the stupid cold. It would be very nice if this stupid cold went away. Okay, arc. center point, U. We are gonna fake this piece, I think. Oh, that would have been smarter. I need to add this button up here. How do we add? Just go like this. Pin to. No, come on. Pin to toolbar. Yes. Pin to toolbar. I mean, not gonna lie, they got some nice. They do have some nice toys in here. In this toy box. And let's go right about there. Nope, still going. Please let me know if my music is too loud or just right or what have you. Because it definitely sounds... Oh, that's not right. It sounds loud enough on my end. However, it definitely sounds different for you guys as it's on its way through through OBS and such. That is... We can just move that? We can just move that. Okay, I will fix that later. Basically, I will just curve it the other way when I put in my fillets. Okay, does that give us the shape we desire? Looks kind of funny. I have another hole to add down here, it looks like. But again, trying to stay out of the weeds. Trying not to get in too deep. That one's definitely smaller though. There, we're gonna call this sketch finished. Ankle. It's one thing I did have some thoughts on, because it is, like I mentioned, it is unclear on what angles these are supposed to be. Like, let's say a top-down view. Do we have a drawing tool in here? I guess not. Okay. But again, with that splay, like, let's see. Oh, let's do front on view. Hello. So when you have the toes, they go out like, let's see if I can get my hands to line up nicely. There. So if the toes go out like this, on what are my wrists, or the equivalent being here, where my wrists are, how do they connect? You know, at what angle? So is this giant circle here, you know, this whole assembly that I've been working on, is this the ankle that is, you know, does it go straight across? There we go. Like if it was a side view, would it go straight in? Or is this assembly at an angle to match the, toe? So like if it's like this, you know, breaking my arm here. Is this assembly also at that angle? It doesn't appear to be, because it feels fairly flat for the perspective. So we're gonna treat it as such. Okay. Let's see about extruding this. So it is definitely just a, this outside part is definitely just a flat plate. Oh, look at that. I'm just gonna extrude. We are going to hide the other bodies for the moment, so nothing decides to merge together. As we found out last time. Now for the easy part. I love this part of the process. I love this part of the process, except where I make an oopsie. Okay, we're not quite done yet. Because, let's see. So you got the holes up there. That's the metal beneath the holes. Yeah, this actually needs to be bigger. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Gonna cheat just a little bit. Maybe there. Okay, let's see if that does it this time. Okay, now we can select our faces. Oh no, is this not a closed face? It's not. Okay. Let's see again. There. That was easy. That was super easy. Oh, except it moved things. Maybe it only appeared to move things. I am gonna move that circle though. There. Did anything else get... No? Okay, everything else seems cool. Did my music stop? Nope. I'm not used to this album. Not used to this album here. Get that one, that one, that one. Beautiful. Again, I will smooth these out later. Probably should just did that in here just for ease. And I think they gave us an extrude right there. Let's see. I think we were going with 5 for those center plates. So let's try 5 again. New body. Let's see what it looks like. Too thick. Too thick for sure. Let's bring in everybody else here. Oh yeah, that was way too chunky. But that is an easy fix. Yeah, let's do we want to do half degrees? I don't think we want to do half degrees. Hold on. Not in this one. There. Now we have a nice plate. Because that's what it looks like. That looks fantastic, actually. We will probably just duplicate it, even though it doesn't really look like it's duplicated for back here. And now we can work on those centerpieces too. Let's see. Where's my sketch? We'll call this... Oh, I do not know what just happened. What just happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. Finish sketch. Ah, that's what it did. Okay. Ankle plate. Let's see how much more of this I can get done real quick. We're going to consider this that. It's a really ambiguous piece. It almost looks like a clear plastic. It almost looks like a clear plastic that's reflecting. Here, let me show you. Right here, that's reflecting these holes. But that would be thinking about it too much, wouldn't it? I'm going to extrude this like that. We're gonna make this one nice and thick, so let's go 5. Hide that. Do this again. And get just this ring. We're not gonna worry about the bolt pattern right now. I can throw those in Maya. I'll just add in some little cap screws or something. Let's see, so you are going to be just above that. Plate sandwiching that together, so you're also going to be thin. Sure. Oops. Just E. Gonna be 2, but oops. Gonna be 2, but you are starting. Here's one cool thing. Start from the edge of an object. Whoa, I had my perspective mixed up. Okay, there we go. There. The translucency is definitely throwing me off. Okay, I think that did it. Oops, and I joined it. Oh, wait, no, redo. There we go. Redo, but edit. Feature. You are going to be a new body. There we go, that looks better. So, got that guy. Got that guy, which we are going to round off. We got that guy. Excellent. And for now, we are going to hide our... How do we hide the background image? Canvas? There we go. Oh, bueno. Hide our sketch for now. That actually looks kind of official, doesn't it? if I do say so myself. Now let's throw in some beauty. That definitely looks rounded. Around that, and we are going to round off these ugly corners over here. I was debating before stream which category I should be launching in today. Let's see. Start with these guys. If I should be in art, or if I should be in... There we go. If I should be in art, or if I should be in makers and crafting. Because I'm using CAD. I was wondering about that. Oh, that is... Why is that not... Oh, I know why it's not filleting, because I changed this goofy setting. There we go. Get that one. You know, I've kind of got my, I don't want to say my groove back with this, but I definitely got my confidence back with this. This project here, I was not really feeling it after last time. Just because, yeah, it's like it felt like it took a long time to get not a huge amount of progress done. But this time around, I'm fairly satisfied. Even so far. Okay, now we need this right here. And this right here with a kind of different sizes. So we'll just play with that again. Into toolbar. There we go. It does make me wonder why they don't have these, some of these tools available in sketch mode. Unless they do, and I just haven't looked yet. Because that could be entirely possible. You know, after all this work I'm putting into this, I should absolutely 3D print this darn thing. I gotta say. I gotta say here. That's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad at all. Okay, I say we get some pins made, maybe, because we can easily center those. And once we drag it into Maya, we will not be able to easily center those. So let's get some pins made and group that. Can we not group that? Group. Wow, that's weird. Move to group. Target group. Group. You're kidding me. How do you make a group? New group. Really? Seems a little silly. It just seems just a little silly. Okay. But anywho. Let's see what this pin looks like. This pin has a slot in it. But we are going to, we might as well draw that slot in right now. Because we can. Ooh, no, no, no. That will... Well, let's see if it messes with things, actually. It would be nice to have everything all on the same... sketch layer. There. And that is how ridiculously easy that is. I think I did make it a little too... Oops. No, 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 no. We're going to start over now. That's the problem with doing things this way. Is things tend to mess with things if you're not careful. There we go. Basically, when I was moving this point right here, it affected this circle and everything that was referenced by that circle, which included these other circles and some of these arcs. So, yeah. There we go. Now we can finish that. It looks like it didn't affect any... Ugh, sorry for the strobing there. Looks like it didn't affect anything else too badly. Now what we're going to do is... we're going to extrude this. Yes, okay. It doesn't look like it's a deep slot, so it's more for looks anyways. We can always, when we're in Maya, if I want to make this pin, much longer, because this is kind of part of the ankle, kind of not really. I can always extend it in Maya by just dragging the faces. So let's just get this shape. New body, start. End it right there. No, we'll not join. We're making a new body. Oh, it's only 2. You know what? We're gonna make it just a little bit bigger. Just make it 4. Okay, let's make it 3. Let's not go crazy. Okay, and then we are going to, let's see, where are we? This guy. And we want this sketch. And it really likes strobing at me, doesn't it? Let's try this again. There we go. This one. This one. Reselect this one. I am not making it easy for myself to do things, am I? There. That should do it. It's a little hard to tell with this shading. Nope, that did not do it. That did not do what I wanted it to do. But we can edit that feature. Okay, so start is that side. Distance is come on. There we go. Start is this side. Correction, we will be doing this on over. There you are. Okay. Starting from a face or plane, this one, and now we'll go going back -1. Or just -0.5. There we go. Turn that sketch off. And look, we have a cute little bolt thing. There's also two little bolts or screws or something. They could just be tabs. That's okay. I am still pleased. We'll call this one flooded pin. And you will also go up here. Okay. I think the major thing left to do is this guy right here. I think anything else I could probably just make in Maya. Except for maybe that that little linkage I mentioned earlier. Okay, so we're going to do this guy. There we go. Now y'all can see. I am wondering about this stuff, though. So it's interesting that they use a bushing. In fact, they probably use a bushing behind each of these for some reason. And whatever this mystery is right here. So it looks like you've got two of these plates. These Kellogg plates, we'll call them. I think it says K-log or K10G. We can call them Kellogg plates. Everybody's ankle should have a good Kellogg plate, right? I will probably just make that up in Maya. Let's put a cylinder in between it. For looksies. Oh man, I might make the way up top, that big heavy plate. Just as a, you know, just a few things as reference points maybe. Like this circle here and this plate right here. How much of this plate do I have? Oh, I've got a big chunk of it. I might just whip those up real quick. Just to have them as references. But yeah, we are definitely not recreating this whole darn thing. I think we did just fine with this masterpiece. So let's do this pin. We can make this pin as big as we want. Basically, it's going to span behind all of this. It's going to connect the front toe or the foot pad. What it really is. I call it a toe, but it's really a foot pad. Oh, we have to put the tread on the bottom. Yeah, we're missing the tread. Okay, so we're gonna extrude this to 10. Much larger than that, but we can scale it up later as needed. New body. We'll call this one pin pad. pad pin, foots pin. So we call the rest of it foots. In fact, we're going to make a new group called foots, which is the front. It's the two toes. Big pin. Wait, which one's big pin? Oh, big pin was in front. What's pin? Okay, then we have heel, heel middle, and heel brace. Sounds about right. So the nice thing about making groups here is when I export the, sadly, OBJ, instead of a nice file, I believe it will, hang on. I believe when we import it, all the pieces will be still arranged by groups. Okay, what are you? Cap? Ankle cap. And you are ankle flange. Okay, now let's see what this looks like without the canvas. Ooh. Oops, and without sketches. Nice, nice. Do need to move the foots assembly. Should we just do that right now? Let's see. Actually, no, we should move the ankle assembly for now. Move group. Can we do groups? I guess I should make it a component if I'm gonna do all this work to it. Move this way. There. Ooh. Ah. So here, well, soon I have to make the executive decision of how we want to connect things. Ooh, that looks funky with the plane at an angle. How do we want to connect these things? I am leaning more and more towards the toe. The toe. I'm just going to call it the toe. The toe and the this ankle plate we just made, they are going to be in plane. So they are going to be parallel. And in my imagination, somewhere behind this big flange, that's where it connects at an angle to the rest of the assembly. So the part that would be, let's see, parallel to the part that would be perpendicular? No. Okay, so you got the leg. You got the leg. Comes straight down. Let's just say straight down, right? The knees pointing forward, so the knees pointing to the left. Right, you got your little thing here. Oh no. One moment. I am low on a battery. see, will you reach? I'm gonna throw this down here to my charger. Little purple spot. Move this up here. Nope. Here. I don't need you anymore. Thank God. Hello. Live tech support. Where? Ooh, that heats up. There. And we should be charging now. Let's hope it doesn't kick me out of everything here. Charging. All right. Awesome. You know, for streaming for a little over an hour, phone's not actually that warm. I imagine once it starts charging, or as it stays charging, it will heat up a little bit more. I think I might still get some kind of cooling phone holder. I plan on posting a picture of one of my ridiculous ideas. I have an old CPU heatsink with a big radial block on it, and it is ridiculous. It's my Twitter rage bait. There we go. It'd be nice to get it connected directly to the PC, but I am not a 2D VTuber. So phone is fixed. Fixed. It's plugged in. If I was a 2D VTuber using VTube Studio, then I could connect the phone directly by USB and it would be charging as it goes. Though, as I found out, let's see, if I have the robot going, so if I have, the video feed coming in through my Camlink, which is USB 3, I want to say. If I have that going, my webcam, and let's see, what else? My normal stuff, my microphone, which is above my head here. If I have all those things plugged in, I have a little bit of a brownout on my motherboard. Well, I mean, it disconnects. It just disconnects things instead of having actual brownout. So that's nice. Ooh, hey, did we run out of? I don't usually listen to those, but I liked that album. That was kind of nice. Nice change of pace. All right, let's see what we got here. Time for another drink. All right. Okay. There. Now you didn't have to hear me humming. Okay. So yep, I think I'm just going to put in. Oops, go back to hand mode. I'm just going to put in a couple of reference points, being this guy right here, this circle, and this plate, at least the profile of it. So I can get this circle too, because this looks like the hinge point for this giant back cylinder assembly. Again, a lot of this is rule of cool. It just looks cool. The hoses will be super easy to do in Maya. And these cylinders I'll just do at the same time. Aha. Aha. You'll see the results of this aha once I get it to once I start it in Maya. So this, I'm gonna call this the center plane. And then the toes are, remember, the toes are splayed, so they're at an angle like this. Tracking's not gonna let me do it. Like so. There. Better? Yeah. Okay. So this guy right here goes right down the middle. And that middle, I'm also gonna say is right here. So this center and this pin right here, this little, yeah, basically, this sailboat are gonna be on the same plane. Yeah. Okay. Yep, that should work. Oh, hey, we've been in evil mode this whole time. I must have had a great idea. Okay, but yes. That pin to use as a reference point for the cylinders. This ugly plate. And maybe these two pieces just for funsies. Because they might be a little bit of a pain. Alright, right on. Ooh. Besides the smooth tracking, like my eyebrows have been way more expressive, I noticed another benefit of using the iPhone as opposed to my webcam. Webcam was doing a good job, not gonna knock it. I don't have to have it as bright in here. So normally I have some lights on the ceiling, normal spotlight kind of things. And I also have a desk lamp that bounces off the wall behind my monitor. It's bright. It's bright enough so that it helps illuminate my face. I don't have that right now. And I'm still getting a nice tracking. Yeah, no jittery blend shapes. Oh, okay, maybe my eyes are a little jittery. Hello, Vanilla. I was just commenting on my new to me and very used iPhone. This thing it's a little rough around the edges, literally rough around the edges. But I had to plug it in because I didn't do that when I started stream. And I was just remarking that I don't need as much light blasting in my face now, so that's nice. Though I do wonder, I think my eye is just a little jittery, so I might have to tweak some settings yet. Because we are still using a VC face right now. I'm not using my Unity project that I do hope to pick up again. On stream probably next week. This is going to be a very busy couple days in my household here, so Wednesday's stream is going to be chilling with a game. But tonight, this guy. Finishing him? Oh, hell no. But progress. So, let me hide the canvas. Ta-da! We got the whole center plate done-ish. So I'm going to add in the tire treads, if you will, the sole of the shoe. I'm going to put those in. I almost forgot. Put those in beneath the feet. And then add in a couple of reference points, like this plate right here. top. And like this pin right here so I get the distance right. And I'm going to export it over to Maya and do some adjustments. Throw in, make some cylinders and rig it. The rigging's the easiest part. Yeah, the rigging's going to be the easiest part of this whole endeavor here. The joys of mechanical modeling is you preload a lot of the work by modeling. Ooh, did I not extract this? I did, it's just hiding behind the image. Okay. So we are going to create another sketch. Sketch. Not way up there. And I did have to stop myself and think, or restrain myself, I should say. I did have to restrain myself and be like, Rusty, you're not going to get the measurements perfect on this. You're not making this for production. Get her done. And so, get her done we will. So we're going to just kind of work with it. Work with what we see here and just eyeball it a bit. Whoops, wait, what? No, what are you doing? I don't know what that was. That there. Put that one right there. I did discover some lovely tools in Fusion that I hadn't really paid much attention to before, and will definitely be paying more attention to now. There's some nice line tools, or arc tools. And I would just do it the sloppy way in the past. I'm actually going to show you right here, the not so sloppy way. Let's see. Now we're going to make this a spline. Nope, no, we're not. Okay, so center point arc. Right about there, and right about there. There, we have a nice little arc. In the past, I would have made us, I would have just made another circle that whole size. That whole size. Okay. We just made another circle that size, and then when I want to extrude it, I just have to click like 5 more times, depending on how messy congested this whole area would be. So, less work. Go me. Speaking of congested, yeah, I'm still a little, unfortunately, still a little congested here. Oops. No, what? Do not snap to the center line. Why would I ever want to snap to the center line? There we go. Yeah, there's just some tools in here that I've grown to like. Oops. Can we fix that? Let's try that again. Where were you? Arc? Oh, let's just do it this way. Arc, arc. Oh yeah, that's way nicer. There. Beautiful. 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 Good enough, right? I think that's good enough. Ooh, and we're not doing too bad for time. Okay, let's see. What have we got yet for... Oh, this guy. I'm really tempted to just extrude this straight down, but then it would look funny. New sketch. It's always interesting to unperspective something. Let's make it like 60 maybe. Thinking? Because if you look here, there. Yes, I'm trying to undo the perspective. The perspective effect. That is too much. Let's do about that. And then we want a smaller circle here. Oh, much smaller, much smaller. Probably right about there. And now we're going to do the arc thing again. Because that just worked out so nicely. That's not sarcastic. Oh, wait a second. That's way too big. That is way too big. Again, the problems of the problems of guesstimating from an angled perspective. And a drawing that might not be completely accurate. Yeah, it's not nearly this big. We'll go with it anyways, though. Let's go right about here. You get your own. There, and connect the dots. Connect the dots here. It'll be mostly hidden anyways. Okay, cool. Google thought I was saying cool to it. I guess cool would be Google. Googles these days, I tell you. Alright, now we're gonna make this goofy, unfortunate soul up here. Just so we don't have to extrude it in Maya itself. There. And let's give this one its own little arc. Ta-da! Okay, okay. So Vanilla, I don't remember if I forgot to ask or if just didn't get that far with as many sidetracks as I've been giving myself. How you doing today? Oops, why are you not? Oh, sketching. Sketches. Sketches. There we go. Oh, really? Really? There. Do. See, we're not gonna make you too thick, so we'll make you like a 2, 3, 3, 2. Make you a 2. Call you a brace thing. Hide you. How thick are you? You're also not that thick. Make you a little bit thicker though, maybe. Maybe not. You are also a brace thing. Brace thing lower. Let's see, who else we got here? Might as well do that center pin. And we will make that pin fancy elsewhere. Especially since it would have had a much narrower hole in it, wouldn't it? The sketch. Did I put these all in the same sketch? No, no, I'm in the wrong sketch. You. Edit you sketch. Okay, let's put in another circle right here. Let's call it 10. There we go. Okay, so this extrusion. Nope. Brace thing lower. Gotta get my naming conventions correct. There. Excellent. Okay. All right, and now we're going to make the big old pin for the heel. Oh, I'm willing to make the pin for up here too, which is fine. Because we're making all the pins here, so we have them aligned nicely in my. I'll give you a 10. Bam. You have a pin, and you are going to be. You know, let's make you a 10 as well. You have a pin. And save. Better put in, where are you? There you are. Better put in this hole while I still can. Hole. Really? I can line up. Another interesting discovery about iPhone tracking. When I block the camera, it just freezes the model. So that's kind of nice. Placement from Sketch. There we go. Perfect. And might as well put this pin in too. Okay, does that conclude all of our... Oops. Heel pin, well, sail. There we go. Now let's see how it looks without the... There we go. Oh, nice, nice, nice. When they lose tracking, their model looks asleep. I'm guessing that'd be something... I wonder if I would set that in... Because I just started... I mean, I tested the iPhone before. But I know with the camera, and then going through NVIDIA Broadcast, when I would lose... I wouldn't lose tracking, it would just... it would just misinterpret whatever's in front of my face. It's like, oh, I know the face was there somewhere. Let's try and model that face, and it would just, you know, rattle my head all over the place. But yeah, with this, it loses, you know, it loses the face ID or whatever, and then it just stops. So for one thing, I have to move my iPhone above my monitor, my new iPhone. I giggle that it's a new iPhone because it is an iPhone 12. Because I want it as recent as possible while still being fairly inexpensive. So I got one that was, it's pretty beat up around the edges, and one of the cameras on the back is cracked. But the like the screen and everything is just fine. It's got a lot of wear and tear on it, and a lot of nicks around the edges, but yeah. Oh no, the eyebrows are so much smoother now. And it's gonna be even better once I get the full eyebrows. Once I get the fixed version of the eyebrows too, because these are actually, so how these look right now, the corners should be lifted up. They shouldn't be like angry cat ears. But no, it is so much smoother. I think I do have to adjust the eye, my aperture eye. Yeah, so funny thing about the eyebrow upgrades coming soon is I actually fixed those about at least a month and a half ago. But I haven't got around to exporting or setting up the remaining blend shapes and exporting that, because I was going to set up more of the ARKit stuff first. Because the way I had it through the webcam processing, I could still use most of the AR kit blend shapes. The AR kit's the iPhone stuff. So I had most of that set up already, for the eyebrows at least, fixed. And I think I had the blink set up in this one finally, in this eye. But yeah, do you want to see my cursed my cursed mouth tests? Let's see. Oh, save. We're almost ready to go into Maya anyways. Thank gods. Let's see, VC face. I think it was this one. Yep, it is definitely this one. So, got a little bit of a problem here with the face because I only did this side of the blend shapes. Because if I'm gonna, yes, the lips. I also shrunk how big the lips were. I'm still debating on whether just filling in the inside of the mouth and having it all just be a big blue blur. You know, it looks like I have a really nice goatee right now going on. But yeah, the tracking is so smooth comparatively. Oh yeah, and the pucker is a little bit too much. But overall, I'm going for a very cartoony, cartooniness. But yeah, this side of the face is not at all hooked up yet, because if I can save myself a dozen blend shapes, I will. Sure, I'm all on board. All on board for feedback. I also don't have the depths that are modeled in yet. Oh, come on, it's not. Pop. Oh yes. The tongue out will definitely be a floppy disk. I do want a when I eventually build redeems in and stuff. Well, even before redeems, one of my ideas was to have the you know, a lot of especially modern cartoons and some anime, when the person vomits, it comes out as like a rainbow or like a sparkly rainbow. I definitely want to do that, but maybe have it be just a pile of floppy disks just come fumbling out. Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is only. Yeah, this doesn't even have all of them set up. I did a lot, or it doesn't even have half of the mouth shape set up. So I'll open up that file to show you that. Oop, nope, don't stop stream. Just go to the other one. Let's see, turn off the farmer. Oop. Rainbow floppy disks. Oh yeah, I guess I could. I mean, if they're gonna be particles anyways, I could just have them be different colors. Oh, it is so responsive. Oh, and another thing. Ooh, we can zoom. Wait, can I double zoom? Oh gee, why wasn't I zoomed in the whole time? I forgot I can zoom. So this would not pick up the cheek puff with the webcam. So I've had this for like half a year now. So yeah, it's the little things really. But no, the tracking is super slick, and this is over Wi-Fi. That's the ridiculous thing, is that this is over Wi-Fi. I mean, it's being I do have smoothing turned on, so it is, you know, is lerping, you know, it's compensating for some of it. But overall, yeah, no, I'm like, as soon as I installed the app and put it in front of here, I'm just like, this is amazing. You know, I finally ponied up It was only a little over $100, but I've been watching eBay like a hawk for about 2 months now. I was looking on Marketplace. Was looking on Marketplace too to find used iPhones, but there seems to be an extraordinary amount of catfishing going on, at least around here. Is quite ridiculous. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The low poly look is my jam. Partially because okay, so I can't take full credit for the suit. I did have to tailor it a bit. Um, like one of the few things that I don't like about this model is that there's a bunch of some of it's stock. So this and the farmer, hello, farmer that I never use. I have one more setup, but I don't think I have it hooked up to a toggle. It's like a spacesuit. Um, yeah, the only thing I really don't like is I do want 5 fingers at some point. And last time I tried adding on or redoing the skeleton, it was an unfortunate export. They went off in every direction. I do not know what I did wrong. But one of the things that one of the reasons I decided to go low poly is that I've been absent from 3D world for a while, a good like 8 years or so. Aside from CAD stuff for 3D printing and the robot project itself, I haven't really done much for 3D modeling or rigging, rendering, etc. in a good 8 years. 8 years from now, anyways. And so I'm a bit rusty. Pun absolutely intended. And low poly is much more forgiving. Well, it has its own quirks, but overall it's much more forgiving than high poly work. Well, yeah, I absolutely chose the Rusty Robot Factory for multiple reasons. Yes, I am out of practice, and rusty robots. It's kind of an aesthetic, right? The rusty, decaying factory, decaying robot kind of thing. It's a whole thing. Zoom out here a little bit. Yeah, I primarily stick with Maya. I've been using it for an obscenely long time. Overall, mostly like freelancing and such. Over the years, I did a lot of freelancing, and I learned Maya back in college. Age check, version 3.5. As or 3? I thought it was 3. I'm thinking 3.5 is the version we learned on. Somewhere before Autodesk bought it. Because it's like, it's the industry standard. Even way back when, it was always the industry standard for movies and games and such. And yeah, when I started freelancing and doing that kind of stuff, I made up and bought a legit copy, upgraded it a few times over the years, and here we are. Well, not here. This is Fusion. Where was I? Yeah, no, I do plan on learning Blender at some point. Multiple reasons. One, it's come a long ways since I last tried it. Probably a decade ago. It's come a long ways. My version of Maya is out of date, so I do not have nice rendering tools anymore. What are we looking at here? That's pretty chunky. Let's make that a 10. Yeah, I do not have a nice rendering package. No GPU enhanced stuff, so that's a pain point. Oops, wait, where did there we go. Where else was I going with that? Yep. So either I'm gonna upgrade Maya because I'm used to it, and the stipulation is I have to be making money with it because even the indie license is still $300 a year, whereas Blender is free. But let's see what else. Oh, there's some neat stuff like GeoNodes is cool. And for VTuber stuff, I had a humble bundle that included a bunch of Blender stuff in it, and one of those things was Faceit. And hey, if I don't have to set up 52 blend shapes myself for the face stuff, if I have an organic model down the road, which there's plans, then yes, I would much rather spend half an hour setting up all the face stuff. I will absolutely offload or automate as much of that as possible and then come back and tweak it all, of course. I was thinking about using Faceit for the cursed cartoon face I showed earlier, but the cartoony mouth was purposely designed for me to be easy to modify and set up. So then I don't have the landmarks that an organic face would have. I am looking forward to smiling, so you can actually see my nice toothy smile. So I'm not going to get rid of this disk drive. I think I'm going to have the other face, the other mouth, be like projection in front of this one. So it might not even be on that block, basically where the disk drive is here. It might not replace that. It might be projected in front of it. I haven't quite decided, and I can definitely play with that because I'm my own modeler and rigger and all that fun stuff. I can do what I want. Like right now, I can be in pain setting up all of these things. What do I want this one to look like? Let's make this one like this. A new body. Let's make this one a 5. Is that all of them? Nope, tank tread. We need the foot tread. We're almost done. I'm bringing it into Maya. Yes, Blender does have a, I don't know if it's one button. They don't call it the Maya toggle, but I think it's like the industry shortcuts or something like that. There's a few programs that do that too. I don't remember if it was Clip Studio, Paint, or Inkscape, but one of them has the in the preferences you can, just toggle it to industry standard shortcut keys. Yeah, it's all indie projects, should have that if they're trying to, real talk. If they're trying to compete or at least draw in people from the big apps, the big names, like Photoshop, Illustrator, Maya, any of those, even like FreeCAD and AutoCAD, they should absolutely have an industry standard key mapping option, even if it's not ideal for the way their software is lined up. If you can get people in and not have them sit there, scratch their heads for 20 minutes and then never open the program again, it absolutely makes sense, Get the feet in the door. Because otherwise, it's just going to look at it and, it's like, what am I doing, I mean, even, similarly, I I came from Maya, right? Even after being away from it for a few years, you know, it took me a little bit to warm up and remember what the heck does what. But I was able to hop back in and you know, muscle memory, right? Now when I first started Fusion up a couple years ago, probably good like 5 or 6 years ago now, I was lost. I was frustrated. I'm like, why isn't this more like either Max or Maya? You know, for pulling stuff, because I have no CAD background. So it's like, this was all just, you know, frustrating. It's like, how do I do these simple things? So after a lot of tutorial videos and just practice, I eventually, you know, got used to it. Oh, that's where we have to use. You are not selected. I'm just gonna make these all like. Actually, you're gonna be way more than 5. Let's make you a little bit bigger. 15. New body. Got a whole bunch of bodies here to name. What's red? Almost done. It's so exciting. Okay. And we need foot. Heal. There we go. Heal. Yeah, this is... So what I'm doing right now is when I originally laid out the what I call the toe, so the front part of the foot and the back part of the foot, when I laid out these sketches, I made sure to put in this, you know, it's like the sole of your shoe, you know, the tread. I made sure to draw that in right away, and it's super easy. It's just an offset from this other line. You know, I think they're just parallel. The metal part that's kind of highlighted right here, because right now I'm going through and I'm doing the final extrusions before export, and it's like bam, 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 bam. I can just go right through it. No, do not join. Do not join. Call this heal. Healing thread. Hey, go in here. So being in the basement where my office is doesn't heat up during the day. You know, you got the nice geothermal type cooling, heating and cooling. So normally it's like maxes out at like 66, 67 degrees. But it has been a toasty day outside. So here I am with the AC still running now. Making it even colder down here. Rather unpleasant, I say. Dang, you know, this is starting to look like something. It's starting to look like something. We're gonna... How's this look on screen? There. We're gonna save this for a screenshot. Let's see, where are we? 2 hours, pretty much. Oh yeah, also. Bam! Oh, no. Wait. Let's take it into the third dimension. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so the heels, the treads aren't lined up, but that's yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice, I gotta say. Yeah, I am definitely satisfied with this. I don't remember if it was before you showed up, but one of the reasons I was going to switch to Fusion for this, especially this centerpiece, is... Oops, don't get out of that mode. The fillet tool. So up here, I don't know if, no, I have it kind of cut off. Modify, fillet. So you have bevels, right? Here they call them chamfers because technically it's a chamfer. Here, rounding the edges. You can round edges, corners. So, like right here, this is rounded. Oh, there we go. Now you can see it. So when I sketched this in, this was like corner, corner, or I should say vertex. We'll call it a vertex here. Vertex, vertex, vertex. And then, same thing right here and here. And so these little patches here, here, and here, those were all nicely filleted. Because that is one of the nice things this could do. But also, I saved myself like a billion Boolean operations. I mean, I suppose I could have drawn this in Illustrator, sent it to Maya as a DXF or EPS file. It's a line art file. Yeah, I could have done it that way and then extrude it, but this will actually send much cleaner, theoretically. I'm gonna finish naming these couple of items here. Got our sketches hidden. Okay, good. Let me just double check that that's... Oh, I was gonna make this... There's a shape. Canvas. This shape right here, behind here. But that I can easily just make out of a cube. Because I have to play with this back area anyways. And any duplication I'm gonna do in Maya, because might as well. So this right here is a reference point to match up to this for this back cylinder. I'm gonna call it a pneumatic cylinder because it's hissing air. And if your hydraulics are hissing like this, you got problems. And this is the pin for the hydraulic, or the pivot pin for this front, pneumatic, this front cylinder, which connects to here. So I have those reference points in place. So I will show you, what did we save? Let's save once more just for kicks. Okay, we are going to take, how much can we grab? Can we grab all of it? A nice corner view there. Utilities, make... No. Okay, okay, I'm gonna throw you on just chatting for a second because Fusion has a really nasty habit of telling everybody in the world who you are. Ooh, when did they add FBX? Really? Oh, okay. Let's go back to here. When did they add FBX? Okay, I thought I was gonna have to export as an OBJ, which would be okay. The mesh is not optimized whatsoever. It's pretty hideous because this is a so difference between this and like Blender or Maya is this is solid modeling, which is why it looks the way it does. What else we got? So you can send it. I could send this right to my 3D printer. How cool is that, huh? I'm gonna try the FBX. I don't know how well this will work. We just have to wait for the cloud to let us know when it's done processing. I forget how long that takes. Okay, cool. I was worried it'd jump scare me again. Like a little dick. There we go. Nothing like being jump scared with your name, right? V12. I'm doing V12. Complete. No. Okay. FBX. It's working on it. I think the OBJ goes a lot quicker. Get what OBJ stands for. So yeah, so this, okay, so funny enough, do I have time? I don't have time to pull up the video. Darn. Did I save the video? Oh, is it done? It's done. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So funny enough, in the video, this isn't even animated. It's slightly ridiculous. Yeah, so bring up my, you. Go to the other screen. There we go. Import. Import from the desktop, because this is just a test anyways. Let's see how ugly it is. Oh, damn, that's sexy. Dun 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 dun. Now, let's see what it looks like in the wireframe. I mean, it should auto clean up pretty decent, actually. But yeah, so all these pieces are separate. But ew, that is some hideous. I mean, the good thing is that Maya has very robust cleanup tools. But yeah, no, look at that. Yeah, no, let's just see what an auto does. Back to the modeling menu. Clean up. I mean, this is basically what the OBJs look like. So basically, so it just packaged up the OBJs. Non-planar faces. Give me some four-sided faces. What do we got? Nothing? What? You think this is good? Oh, God. So, the bonus is... Yeah, I'll just use like a reduce tool on it or something. Let's see how hideous this is. I mean, that already is way less crap. Yeah. Yeah, there's ways to fix this. Alright, I should say, it's not broken. It's just ugly. And honestly, this is going to be, you know, kind of just sitting on the shelf. This is a fun experiment. But yeah, oof. Oof. Big oof. Where's Fusion? There. There, it looks nicer over here, doesn't it? I could make it look just as nice. Do I have the vector render loaded? Kind of doubt that I do. Oh, I do not have the vector render loaded. Okay, so I can't quite make it look like that. Well, there shouldn't be any n-gons, because the cleanup tool would have caught them. These are all triangles. And it's you know, it's showing the whole mesh right now, so it's kind of, yeah. But no, these are all triangles. So, you know, we have retopology tools, we've got rebuilding tools, cleanup tools. I just have to play with them to see, you know, like here's the quad tool. Theoretically, that did something. But yeah, no, it looks like a Ferris wheel. Yeah, no, we've got tons of stuff for rebuilding and whatnot. And if I really wanted to get into the nitty gritty, which I'm not going to, we have the infamous and awesome, where is it? Mesh Tools Modeling Toolkit. This is one of my favorite features of Maya. So basically, you get this lovely tool called Quad Draw, which is hidden behind... Unfortunately, it's hidden over there behind my foot. Yeah, so I could manually go in here and be like, nip, 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 which I wouldn't. But if this was an organic model, I could set whatever I imported as a kind of like the template and draw over it, and it just matches up the quads real nice. I haven't used that too much because I haven't done organic modeling since this came out. But the option's there. So yeah. So no, that's go back to oops, get out of my toolkit. Get out of my toolkit. Oh well. Well yeah, no, that's looking nice. It's looking nicer than I thought it would actually. So next time I am going to continue with this. I was going to actually, depending on how today went, I was thinking about not continuing with this, at least not yet, because it was tough to work from this reference material, being at a goofy angle and such, or, you know, slightly askew angle, and relatively unclear. I think I'm gonna go with it. What I was playing with earlier, actually this weekend, is a very simple foot setup. Because I didn't remember as much how to do such things. Let's see. So this is just super simple rigging test. I definitely do not have it set up properly. Or, well, named properly anyways. It is fairly set up properly. Yeah, got a nice little IK set up here. I'll zoom out a little bit. Nice little IK set up here at the basic foot. And then the rotations should be... they're a little wonky. But like here's for... You know, here it's adjusting for the foot. But this is basically a multi-IK setup here. Inverse kinematics. Is this one set up right? No, this one wasn't set up right. Okay. How about this one? What's this? Get your toes. Moving your toes around. What's it? Heel? Yeah, heel. But basically, you know, this is the start of a control rig. I'm not going to continue with this. This was an experiment, but this is the start of a control rig. So instead of me going in, or the animator going in here and grabbing all these little groups, you would have a foot shape, you know, drawn in there, and then it would have a whole bunch of parameters that you set to different things, like, you know, how far does the toe go? You know, how do you control the toes go up and down? And then you could keyframe off of those various things instead of having to grab this you know, IK handle here whenever you want to make your toe bend up and down or wiggle back and forth. You know, so I haven't done this in a very long time either, of course. But, you know, It's the start. Let's see, here we go. Oof, that is interesting. You know, it's all the IKs fighting each other, working with each other. Man, that is, yeah. So anyways, that was a test. That was a test earlier just to try to remember the proper order of hooking things up, and I'll look up a YouTube video to get a better handle on it. The good news is anything that I want to hook up for VTubing is going to be humanoid and is much easier to rig, because you just kick it off as a humanoid model, and then from like Maya or Blender, and then when you bring it into Unity to turn into a, well, at least for me, to turn into a VRM style model, you just say, oh, okay, here's my humanoid looking skeleton reference. What gets hooked up where? Okay, you know, hand, shoulder, knees, toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, and then it solves the rest. It lines it up and solves it. So if you have everything, you know, properly weight painted and all that, and rigged, it goes into Unity fairly easy. And I'm sure Unreal has the same wonderful features. But I do need to call it tonight. Let's leave on a pretty note here for the thumbnail. You gotta always think about the thumbnail. Look more impressive from this angle or this angle. There we go. There we go. Man, that took a bit. Ta-da! Yeah, no, thanks for stopping by. I always like chatting when I'm doing this kind of stuff, because otherwise it's just me moving a bunch of dots and circles around. Well, at least for here, anyways. Let's see. We saved it before we exported it, so that was nice. And I'm not sure I'm gonna raid out because I do gotta get rolling. So let's just see real quick. Nah, I gotta run. I would have to raid and run, but yes, thanks for the stream. And yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday if you want to stop by and watch me play a video game. Yeah, 3D modeling. There's just so many ways you can do it. Like, I could have done this all in Maya, Blender, etc. When I say Maya, you can do the same kind of stuff. Overall, you can do the same kind of stuff in Blender or Max or maybe even Modo. I haven't used Modo in forever. But yeah, they can all do the same type of thing. Make things three-dimensional. You know, the nitty-gritty is how they go about it and what else they can do. So yeah, a lot of it is preference. Like this, I could have absolutely, this could absolutely be done in Blender, no problem. But now it's done in CAD, and I could send this right to my 3D printer. How funny is that? Yeah, I could have this foot by the time I'm done sitting on my desk, and it's all, you know, properly dimensioned. Of course, I could also export it from Maya when it's all done. Export it from Maya into a 3D printer format. So there's a bit of that too. Build a home mech. I mean, you know, if Rusty could walk around, he'd be a menace. He really would. All right, I'ma call it here. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you later. Bye.